All right, so you're ready to really maximize that 20% savings part of your budget, huh?
Yeah, and we've got some great stuff to dig into today.
We really dug deep for this one.
Yeah, a bunch of advice from finance YouTubers.
Some solid articles with some good strategies, too.
And even some real-life stories, to kind of see how it all comes together.
Yeah, see how people are actually using these strategies.
Right.
And one of the most interesting things I think we found is how saving money can actually impact your relationships in ways you wouldn't really think about right off the bat.
Definitely.
Like we're talking merging finances with a partner.
Right.
And how important it is for each person to still have their own sense of autonomy and keep those lines of communication open.
Right. Yeah, that 20% is, it's not just a random number. It's like the foundation for a really solid financial future.
So more than just like hitting a target, it's about what that target lets you actually do.
Exactly. Like, think about this. Your rich BFF, Vivian, too. She pointed out that people spend, on average, like $1,000 on holiday gifts.
Wow.
And without some kind of savings plan, expenses like that can really throw you off.
Yeah, that makes it real, right? Like everyone's got to buy presents.
Exactly.
So where does this 20% actually fit into like the big picture?
Okay, so this is where it gets really interesting.
Okay.
This 20% can become your emergency fund. Right?
Yeah.
It can help you pay off debt way faster.
Right.
And even be the source of future investments.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, it can also be the guilt-free fun money, too.
Okay, there we go.
For when you want to treat yourself. It's all about building that sense of freedom and security.
I love that it's not just about, like, restriction. It's actually about opening up what you can do.
Exactly.
Yeah. And one thing that really stood out to me when we were going through all this stuff was this idea of paying yourself first.
Yes.
Through automated transfers.
Automatic transfers.
Yeah. Your rich BFF is like a huge advocate for this.
Whoa, huge advocate.
Like, why is that such a big deal?
Well, it's such a simple concept, but it's so powerful.
Okay.
When you automate your savings, you're basically like taking the decision-making out of it.
You're taking the willpower out of it.
And the willpower out of it, exactly.
Yeah.
And even little tiny amounts like 5% or 10% of each paycheck can really add up.
Because of the compound interest?
Fast because of compound interest.
It's like magic.
It's like having a little secret savings ninja working behind the scenes.
I love it.
Right.
So you don't even have to think about it.
Exactly. And here's a great tip from your rich BFF's AMA.
Okay.
Set up those automatic transfers to go straight into a separate high-yield savings account.
Oh.
That way you maximize that growth potential.
So simple, but so effective.
Right.
And it doesn't have to be complicated.
No, it doesn't.
Your rich BFF even shared a story of someone automating their savings right through their workplace portal.
Oh, wow.
So it's like accessible to basically anyone.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now we know a lot of people are juggling saving goals while they're also trying to manage debt.
Of course, especially high interest debt.
Like those credit cards.
Especially credit cards, yeah.
That feels like a real balancing act. Like, where do you even begin?
Okay, so high interest debt is like this huge drain on your finances.
Yeah.
And the longer you let it just sit there, the more it's going to cost you in those interest charges.
Right.
Erica Kohlberg gave a really good example of this.
Okay.
A $5,000 credit card balance with a 25% APR.
Wow.
Can take almost 3 years to pay off.
Bro.
Even if you're paying $200 every single month.
Ouch, that's over $2,000 just in interest.
Exactly. So that's why it's so important to just like prioritize that high interest debt repayment.
Get that out of the way.
Get it out of the way. And there are strategies for that too,
Right.
like the debt snowball or the avalanche method.
Right.
Those can really help you stay on track.
So it's like a strategic debt-crushing mission.
Exactly. Once you get that under control, then you can really see your savings goals take off.
Yeah. Awesome. All right, let's talk about tools.
Yes.
Tools that can help us on this journey.
I love it.
We've got so many budgeting apps out there
So many apps.
that can help you track spending, visualize your progress, and even automate those savings transfers we were talking about.
Yeah, and the best part is there's like an app for everyone's style.
I love that.
So why an app? You need it. Budget is super popular.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
Has great features, and it's got a really supportive community.
Okay, cool.
And then there's the 50-30-20 method,
Right.
which is built right into apps like Erica Kohlberg's SoFi app.
Okay.
And I love that SoFi has these things called vaults.
What are vaults?
Vaults are where you can set aside money for specific goals, like saving for a wedding.
Oh, that's cool. So you can have like a wedding vault.
A wedding vault.
Vacation vault.
A down payment on a house vault.
I love it.
Yeah. It's all about finding the tool that works best for you and keeps you on track.
So whether it's high-tech app or just like a spreadsheet,
Yeah.
The key is to find a system that you can actually use.
Exactly. Find that financial rhythm and make those savings goals a reality.
Woof. Oh, all right. So we've covered a lot of ground here.
We have.
But it seems like the main takeaway is that building a secure financial future.
Yeah.
It's not just about pinching pennies.
Right.
It's about understanding your relationship with money.
Exactly.
Finding the tools that work for you and making conscious choices that align with your goals.
It's about empowering yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
To make your money work for you.
Yeah. I love that. All right, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to dive even deeper into this idea of money scripts.
Ooh, I love it.
And how our beliefs and attitudes about money can actually shape our financial reality.
Fascinating stuff.
So stay with us. All right, so we're back and ready to dive into this whole idea of money scripts.
Yes.
I find this so fascinating.
Me too.
Because it's not just about the numbers, right?
No, it's about how we think about money.
Yeah, our relationship with it.
Our relationship with money, exactly.
Yeah. Do we see saving as a chore or as a way to actually open up possibilities?
That's a great point, and that's where understanding your money script comes in.
Money script. Okay, tell me more.
It's basically those beliefs and attitudes we have about money, often without even realizing it.
Subconsciously. That actually end up shaping our financial decisions.
Exactly, it's our financial programming running the background.
Oh, I like that. Okay, so where do these money scripts even come from?
Well, it's a mix of things.
Okay.
Some beliefs we inherit from our families,
Yeah.
Others get shaped by our own experiences.
Right.
Society, media, you name it.
A whole combination of things, yeah.
Exactly.
So, if someone grew up hearing that money is always tight,
right,
they might have a harder time feeling abundant, even if their situation changes later on.
That's a great example. Their money script might be telling them to hold on to every penny.
Even if saving and investing would actually be better for them in the long run.
Exactly. It's about recognizing those patterns.
On the flip side, someone with a more abundant money script,
right,
they might be more comfortable taking risks.
Yeah, calculated risks.
Investing for the future.
Exactly.
Interesting. So it's really fascinating how those beliefs can actually shape our reality.
Absolutely. And that's why it's so important to be aware of what your own money script is.
Right. Is it helping you or is it actually holding you back?
Exactly.
So how do we do that? How do we figure out our own money script and maybe even rewrite it if it's not working for us?
Well, self-reflection is key.
Okay.
Take some time to think about your earliest memories of money.
Interesting.
What messages did you hear growing up? And how do you actually feel about money now?
It's like a money journaling session.
Exactly. Ask yourself, what are my biggest fears when it comes to money? What are my aspirations? And are these beliefs, based on facts or just limiting assumptions that you've picked up along the way?
That's powerful. Once you start asking yourself those questions, I bet you start to see some patterns.
Definitely. And if those patterns aren't serving you, you can start to challenge them.
Right.
And create a more empowering money script.
It's like we're taking control of the story of our financial lives.
Exactly. And, if you need some extra guidance, a financial therapist or coach can be super helpful in this process.
Oh, that's a great idea. Having that support can make a big difference. So we've talked a lot about the importance of saving, the psychology behind it.
Yeah.
But what about the practical side of things?
Right.
How can our listener make sure they're really getting the most out of that 20% savings?
Well, that's where the right tools and strategies come in.
Okay.
We mentioned budgeting apps.
Right.
But there's so many other resources out there too.
Oh, yeah. Like what?
Books, podcasts, financial advisors, you name it.
It's like a whole financial toolkit.
Exactly. And just like any toolkit, you want to choose the tools that are right for the job.
Makes sense.
So experiment, explore different investment options. Don't be afraid to ask for help when you need it.
Yeah, find what works for you. Build a system that supports your goals.
Exactly. And remember, the most important tool of all is your own mindset. When you believe in your ability to achieve financial success, you're already halfway there.
I love that it's about empowering ourselves to create that financial future we want.
Absolutely.
It's funny, we talk about saving money.
Yeah.
But it often feels like we're talking about what we can't do.
Yeah, what we're giving up.
We have to give up, yeah.
Right. And it's easy to fall into that trap, but honestly, that kind of thinking can really sabotage your efforts.
It's not sustainable.
No. If saving feels like punishment,
who's going to want to do it?
Yeah, exactly. Who's going to stick with it, right?
So how do we shift that?
Yeah, how do we make saving feel more empowering?
Yeah.
It's all about perspective.
Okay.
Instead of focusing on what you're missing out on.
Yeah.
Focus on what you're gaining.
Okay, so it's not like I can't buy that.
Yeah.
I'm saving up for something even better.
Exactly.
Okay, I like that. So what are we gaining by like making that mental shift?
Well, first of all, you're gaining financial security.
Okay.
That 20% becomes your safety net.
Right.
For those unexpected expenses, it helps you avoid debt.
Right.
And it gives you that freedom to pursue your dreams.
Like building a foundation.
Yeah, exactly. Like building a solid foundation for your financial future.
Right.
But it goes beyond just the practical stuff, too.
Oh, okay.
Saving can actually boost your self-esteem.
Really?
Yeah, it shows that you're disciplined,
That's responsible.
you're committed to your goals, and that you're capable of making those smart choices.
It's like a financial self-care routine.
I love that analogy, and that sense of pride and accomplishment that you get from it can be so motivating.
It keeps you going.
Yeah, it keeps you going, exactly.
Okay, so how do we practically make this happen?
Okay.
How do we actually cultivate that mindset and build those savings?
Start with clear goals. What are you actually saving for? Is it a down payment on a house, a dream vacation, early retirement?
Yeah.
When you have a specific goal in mind, it makes saving feel more purposeful.
It's like you're working towards something.
Exactly like having a financial destination to guide you.
I like that.
And as you make progress, celebrate those wins.
Yeah.
Acknowledge those milestones no matter how small they are, and reward yourself in ways that don't completely derail your savings plan.
It's about creating those good habits. Right?
Exactly. A positive feedback loop reinforcing those good habits.
I love it.
And remember, this is a marathon, not a sprint.
Right.
There will be times when you slip up or you face challenges, but don't let that discourage you.
It's part of the process.
It's part of the process. Learn from it, adjust, and keep moving forward.
So we covered a lot of great advice in this deep dive.
We did.
We talked about concrete strategies like automating our savings, tackling that debt, and finding the right tools for us. Right. But we also went a little bit deeper, exploring that whole psychology of money and how our mindset really does shape our financial reality.
It's not just about the numbers, it's about our relationship with money.
And making choices that align with our values and our goals.
Exactly.
So for our listener who's ready to take charge of their finances, what's the one thing you want them to remember?
Believe in yourself. Believe in your ability to achieve financial success.
I love that.
When you have that belief, you open up so many possibilities.
Beautifully said. It's been a pleasure diving into this with you.
Likewise.
And to our listener, thank you for joining us.
Yes, thank you.
We hope you feel empowered to maximize that savings potential and create the financial future you deserve.